As you build your agents in Cognigy, you'll find a need for two features for managing your work. First, you may want a versioning feature so you can preserve your agent at a particular point in time, such as prior to a release. Second, if you have multiple environments, for example a test environment and a production environment, you'll need a way to move your agent from one environment to another. Cognigy addresses both of these needs with snapshots. A snapshot is a copy of agent resources at a specific moment in time. Cognigy copies flows, lexicons, playbooks, and more to capture a freeze frame of the agent. The snapshot includes all of your agent resources except endpoints, intent trainer records, analytics data, context profiles, and other snapshots. To create a snapshot, go to the left bar and click on Deploy Snapshots. Click New Snapshots to create a new snapshot, and enter a name. You can optionally enter a description. Cognigy will start creating the snapshot in the background. You can monitor the progress of your snapshot by clicking the Activity Monitor in the top right corner. Let's imagine we are currently live with our bot and we want to make some changes. I'll go to my input flow and change the welcome message. I'll say that we can handle baggage questions or flight status questions. I'll test the bot by opening the interaction panel and saying hi. And I can see the new message. But I can also compare this to my snapshot. In the drop-down at the top of the interaction panel, I'll choose the snapshot I just created. And I'll test again. Now I see the previous welcome message that was part of the snapshot I created. You can also run playbooks using different snapshots. So I can verify a playbook worked against one snapshot and then compare it to my current work in progress. I can also use snapshots in my endpoints. If I go to Deploy Endpoints and click on my web endpoint, you'll see the first drop-down is a snapshot. If I have no snapshot selected, Cognigy will use the current state of the agent. But if I choose a snapshot, the endpoint will execute against the version of the agent that existed when I created the snapshot. A practical application of this is if your live endpoint is using a snapshot. This allows you to make changes to your flow without affecting the version of your agent that's in production. What if you want to move an agent from one environment to another? Or if you just want to make a copy of an agent within a single environment. To do this, you need to prepare and download your snapshot, and then upload and restore it. Let's go back to Deploy Snapshots to take a look at how this works. Next to the snapshot I created, you'll see a vertical ellipsis. Choose Prepare Download from the list. Cognigy will start preparing the download in the background. Once the snapshot is ready for download, you'll see a download icon next to it. I'll download it now. You'll have a file that ends with CSnap, which stands for Cognigy Snapshot. Now let's imagine we're logging into our production system to enable the snapshot. I'll just back out to the main Cognigy dashboard and create a new agent. I'll call it Production. Now I'll go to Deploy Snapshots and I'll click on the Upload icon in the top right corner. I'll upload the snapshot I just created. To go live with this snapshot, I can go to Deploy, Endpoints, and create a new endpoint. I'll just create a web chat endpoint and call it Web. I'll choose the snapshot and the flow and save. And now I've made this snapshot available. As a reminder, if I upload a new snapshot to the same agent, it won't overwrite my endpoints, so you can feel safe uploading snapshots knowing that it won't affect your live endpoints. What if I want to make changes in my flows, for example, after I've uploaded a snapshot? I'll go to Build Flows and see I don't have any flows. Why is that? The snapshot is, as it sounds, a static picture of a moment in time. If I want to make changes, I need to restore the snapshot to create a new work in progress. I'll go to Deploy Snapshots again. On the vertical ellipsis next to the snapshot, I'll choose Restore. Because this will overwrite my current work in progress, Cognigy asks me to confirm that I'm ready to restore the snapshot. Before you restore a snapshot, be sure to create a snapshot of the current work in progress if you don't want to lose it. Restoring a snapshot will overwrite everything except endpoints, snapshots, analytics, and contact profiles with the snapshot content. When Cognigy finished restoring the snapshot, I can go back to Build, Flows, and see my flows are there, as are my lexicons and other project resources.